Villagers, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. For decades, people have decided that they have the absolute right to determine what happens in any other place. And wherever you find yourself, you do not have any right over your own self. We are properties to other people. And it has been happening and it keeps happening. But the president of Brazil, Lula, said, enough of this. That people should stop acting as if they owe other places. People should not act as if they owe Iran. And then look at the same thing that they did in Libya. The same thing they did in Venezuela. The same thing they came to Iran to do. When the United Kingdom and the United States of America decided to invade Libya, the world was watching. And why should other people think that they have the right to be doing what they are doing? People will always go to any length to find reasons to back what they want to do. And we know what they said concerning our prophet Muammar Gaddafi when they invaded Libya. And today, look at the story, look at the history, look at the democracy, look at all the things that they have promised the Libyans. Look at the better life the Libyans are enjoying today.
Every day, because every day we are threatened. Every day we are threatened, and there's no international forum to discuss it.
Who did Bush ask for permission to invade Iraq? Nobody. Where are the chemical weapons that were supposed to be in Iraq? There were none. Who exactly did France and England ask permission to invade Libya? No one. What harm was Gaddafi actually causing at that time? Absolutely none. Who did Trump ask for permission to invade Iran? From no one. Who did Israel ask for permission to invade the Gaza Strip as they did? From no one. No president from any nation, anywhere in the entire world, regardless of how powerful or influential their position may be, has the right to continuously impose their own specific rules and regulations upon other independent nations. And none. And the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council must convene to fundamentally change their behavior. We simply cannot wake up each and every morning and then go to bed each and every night, with a tweet from a president of the republic threatening the entire world.
Engaging in warfare.
That is to say, they all make their decisions without consulting the UN, of which they are members and are part of the Security Council.
Who did Bush ask for permission to invade Iraq? Nobody. Where are the chemical weapons that were supposed to be in Iraq? There were none. Who exactly did France and England ask permission to invade Libya? No one. What harm was Gaddafi actually causing at that time? Absolutely none. Who did Putin ask for permission to invade Ukraine? Absolutely no one. Who did Trump ask for permission to invade Iran? From no one. Who did Israel ask for permission to invade the Gaza Strip as they did? From no one. Who asked for the invasion of Venezuela? No one. What I mean is, these are unilateral decisions that do not respect the forum in which these people participate. And if we don't have a serious discussion about this, absolutely nothing will change. Nothing will change at all. In fact, the situation is only going to get worse. I think this extremism, this disrespect for the UN Charter and for harmony among nations is very, very dangerous in the world we live in. Today we have more armed conflicts. We are currently at a point in history experiencing the largest number of armed conflicts globally since the conclusion of the Second World War. And the United Nations Security Council does not hold its meetings. Its permanent members do not attend. It's always just the ambassador's representative. And when you try to approve something, there is the right of veto, and it simply doesn't function because any single member can veto. And how many years have we been trying to change the number of countries in the UN? Where is the African representation? Just on the African continent, there are 3 countries with over 120 million people. Where is the participation of Mexico, of Brazil, of Argentina, of Colombia? What is India's participation? So many important countries, Germany, Japan, Indonesia, all these countries could participate. And why doesn't it change? When the subprime crisis happened in 2008, we created the G20. For what? To try to resolve the crisis. We tried to change the IMF, we tried to change the World Bank, but nothing changed. So I believe that this democracy, the democracy that we as heads of state must discuss and must demand that the UN Secretary General, convenes extraordinary meetings, even without asking the 5 members of the Security Council. The UN cannot remain silent and simply watch what is happening in the world. Trump invades Iran, and then suddenly bean prices rise in Brazil, corn prices go up in Mexico, and gasoline becomes more expensive in another country. In other words, it's the poor who will ultimately pay for the irresponsibility of wars that nobody truly wants. It's this democratic behavior that countries have that we truly need to discuss with great seriousness. The world doesn't need war, but the world's problems. The problem of multilateralism, it's not an internal problem, not an internal problem for Mexico or an internal problem for Spain. It's a problem, for the United Nations. It's about respect for the UN Charter. I ask all of you who are members to read the UN Charter and read the decision that created the Security Council with a permanent member. Read it. And if you do not feel you are truly fulfilling your duty, then you must resign, or we will change the UN Charter once and for all. What simply cannot be allowed, what absolutely cannot be allowed, is for the world to be spending $2.7 trillion on weapons, while so many people are suffering from hunger. What we cannot have is us talking about decarbonizing planet Earth, while you gentlemen are dropping bombs every blessed day in every single country. What we cannot allow is Lebanon to be a victim of every war Israel fights with someone. The final shot always has to be in Lebanon. Meaning, where are we going to make our decisions? Where are we going to stop? I am just appalled. I am truly astonished by the silence of people, for not saying anything at all. As if they're trying to hide from something they don't want to talk about.
And we have to talk to each other daily.
Brazil, I want to tell you all, Brazil does not want war with the United States. I do not want war with China. I do not want war with Russia. I do not want war with Uruguay. I do not want war with Uruguay. In other words, I don't want war. I want peace. I want peace. I want my country to develop. I want my people to live well, to be able to study. That's what you all want. I don't want war with Albania, comrade. I don't want to.
I don't want war, Evo Morales shouldn't want to wage war with me, because I don't want war with Bolivia either. But we have to say this every day, because every day we are threatened. Every day we are threatened, and there's no international forum to discuss it.
It's the same thing they started again with Niger, sitting in EU Parliament to pass a resolution that they do not want the leader in Niger because they want their partner who is Mohamed Bazoum to come back into office. And that this is what they always do, and they continue to do, because they believe that they have the power to decide the fate of other people. And for how long will this continue? For how long will this continue to happen? We saw what happened in Venezuela. all the things they said Nicolas Maduro was doing, only for us to find out that it was all about the oil. It was the same narrative they decided to put across when it came to Iran, telling the world that Iran is a threat. Iran has this, Iran has that. And only for them to enter, and then they come out to tell us that Iran is not a threat to anybody. And Iran has made it clear that when it comes to this nuke whatever, they don't want it. They don't need it. And we've seen that every day there's a reason to wage Iran is a threat. They keep changing all the things that they told the world before they began this. And we'll continue to be watching other people having right over other nations. And this is what Iran is fighting against. And Iran is saying that they want to make sure they fight to liberate themselves to the point that even in the nearby future, nobody will think about attacking them. And this is where we lack as Africans. Africans, we still believe that we are second-class people to other people, and that is why we can never unite. We are seeing what the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing, fighting against oppression, fighting against people deciding the fate of the African. And what do we see? We have African leaders who are preaching democracy, always rising against the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, trying to move away from them. They don't want to associate themselves with them because I wonder the kind of mentality that these people succeeded in putting in us, making us believe that if somebody is not practicing democracy, the person is not one of us. And must we all obey the rules and regulations of the oppressor? For how long will we continue to be doing the things that they left for us to do? And we claim we are independent people. And that was why one time Dr. Arikana said, why should we even be around the table where the African is not even welcomed? Because we are there to only vote on issues pertaining to other people. We need to understand that whatever other people are doing is for their interest and not the interest of other people. If you are an African and you sit here believing that the only thing that you need is your process rule, because that is the thing they always preach to other people. We want to bring democracy. We are not all Westerners. So why should we accept the culture, the traditions, and the norms of them? They can't go to China and do that. They can't go to Russia and do that. They always go after nations they think are vulnerable, that they can easily manipulate. And if we are talking about equality and the people are preaching human rights, why not also understand that people have their right to decide what they think is right for them and not what they think they need to impose on us? And we know at the end of the day what they are after. Like the resolution that EU passed, now they are not getting the uranium. So for that matter, because they are not benefiting and it is the people that are benefiting, it is bad. So the person must be taken out in this 21st century. Yet these are the people who are talking about peace, who are talking about sovereignty, like the EU president said, Ursula von der Leyen, talking about Lebanon having their sovereign right. What about the people in Niger? Or what about the black people? Don't we also have the right to decide what we think is best for us? Because there is a lot of pressure on EU. Now they are seeing that it is best for them to allow people to accept the terms and conditions that Lebanon is putting out so that they can be free, because she said they have spent over 20 billion importing fuel. So because they are suffering, other people now have sovereign right. But when it comes to Africans, we do not have it. And this is what we all need to fight against, because this is 21st century and every country and every people have their right to decide what they think is best. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Europe and in Brazil.